Hi everybody, Yishan here. Today I've got a dual video with my Kaiju Gren Maju Kaiju Alpha Fairy Tale Luna style deck. So I'm excited to bring you guys that gameplay. But before we get into that, I wanted to show you guys a little graphic real quick. I checked the other day and it said that 85% of you are not subscribed. So if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate that very much. One last thing before we get into the gameplay. I am looking for an OTK deck, another OTK deck besides Gren Maju. Gren Maju is my favorite, of course. But if you guys have any OTK decks that you want me to take a look at to maybe build a deck for, and then even do some duels for, then please let me know in the comments. Also, I've got a Golden Castle Gren Maju video coming out, so make sure you're subscribed and turn on your notifications for that. So without further ado, let's get right into the duels. Alright guys, we're back. First duel with me and my dog Apollo. Just got him, but let's get right on into the first duel. Okay, so first duel is up against Bailey. You guys may know Bailey. He is one of my friends, and we got matched up against our local tournament, and he was playing Pranked. So let's take a look. How did the dice roll go here? I lost RPS. He has scissors, and he's on Prank Kids today. But since he knows what I'm playing, and this is a competitive tournament, he opts to make me go first, which does kind of suck, but we'll have to see how this plays out here, see if I can play through it. I open a Gizmek, which is always good to have, so I just pass, right? Because if you open Gizmek, no need to, you can feel safe to try and to survive an OTK. Now, one important thing to think about is also that I could have Summoned Eater, activated Slumber, special Gizmek to make a rank 8. However, I don't think that's usually worth it. It's not the worst thing in the world though, because you can banish Slumber on the next turn, but you also giving your opponent a Kaiju, which is a link material to work with. So I opted not to go for that play. I decided Bailey, go ahead, play it out. So he goes for Terraforming to add a Fusion Recycling Plant, and he activates the Fusion Recycling Plant, discarding the Imperm, adding the Poly. Was this a mistake? I don't know. Maybe he wants to, if he knows what I'm playing, maybe Imperm is worth saving. Not sure here, but he discards it anyway. He just wants to get his plays going. So he goes, he activates Prank Kid's place and searches a Dropsies. Then he's going to Poly away to Prank Kids. You usually want to get that Fansies early so you can start sending stuff to the graveyard for a Rocket Ride. So I take 500 from the red guy, and he summons 2 blues. Now, here I'm going to notice 2 blues. That's signaling in my head, oh, he might go into Totally Awesome. And I do not want my Gizmek negated by Totally Awesome. First, for the fact that he could set it, which I don't want. I'd rather it definitely be in my graveyard. And second, because I need to not get OTK'd here, so I need this Gizmek to stick. As you can see, he's got a Prank Kids Dropsies in his hand, so he actually could have negated the Gizmek with the Dropsies in hand, which would have been really, really bad. So, okay, here we go. So, I vanish 8, of course, to summon the Gizmek. He's going to go into the Toad like we expected, tribute the Rocket Ride to summon 2 Prank Kids back. I'm just going to slow this down really here. Normal's the Dropsies because he didn't actually normal summon yet this turn, and he's going to link Dropsies and Roxy's off for a Doodle. So Roxy's, he can activate, get rid of that Mystic Mine, and Doodle's going to get, of course, the best card in his deck, the Prank Kids Pandemonium. Okay, so I'm feeling all right now, and he's going to link or tribute to add a red and a blue back, and then summon the link 1, summon the link 2, and activate Prank Kids Pandemonium, and going to get 3 for a Battle Butler. Now he goes to Battle Phase here. I don't know, maybe Battle Butler can it not be used on my turn? That's probably why it is. But he goes to Battle Phase here, attacks my Gizmek. Luckily, I'm just able to survive by the skin of my teeth. He told me after the game that he didn't have Access Code Talker in his extra deck, and that he would have been able to make game if he had an Access Code Talker. But no Access Code Talker means I'm going to live to fight another day, which is just what I need. He starts with the Bow Wow to add the Pandemonium and the Fire to his hand. However, I'm not that worried because he doesn't have the Pandemonium set, and it's my turn already, so I just need to get rid of his negates here. So I activate the Slumber. He, of course, negates it, adds back stuff, but I don't really care. He actually had an Ash in his hand, and so he actually could have Ashed the Slumber. That would have been a better play, in my opinion, but now, because there's nothing left to Ash, so I special this. He has to pop because he's afraid that I am going to bounce this right away. Now, this actually might have been a slight mistake on my part. I probably should have just summoned another alpha, would have forced another pop, and then I would have been able to easily go Eater Gren for game. But I go here, and I banish a bunch of stuff. I summon this. He doesn't pop. It doesn't really matter if he pops here. I just go Eater, Gren, attack for game. If he doesn't pop here, I just make Ding Girsu, and I can go Eater and Gren and attack for game. So either way, slight misplay by Bailey on there, a little slight misplay by me, although it didn't really matter. So I'm able to take game one, even though I had to go first. So yeah, okay. Game two, let's take a look at game two. I expect he's gonna make me go first again, so I go and put in my side deck. You can see I sided in this Banquet of Millions trap card, which is going to be really, really, really strong against prank goods. I have a Twin Twister here, and I open a Kaiju, Gizmek, and a Gren Maju. So actually a really, really good opener. If you see Banquet Gren in your opening hand, you're going to be in good shape. My dog here bothering me during recording, but that's all right. We're going to move on. So I make the conscious decision to only set the Banquet here. Now, why is that? Is because, you know, I can chain this Banquet to anything, but I want to keep my Twin Twister safe just in case he has anything like Imperm or anything like that. So I'm actually just going to set the Banquet. He opens with a Poly. Of course, I'm going to chain the Banquet of Millions here. I'm going to do my entire extra deck because I want to OTK with Gren and Gizmek. And so this is one really, really cool thing about Banquet is that if you draw Gren Maju, it's going to help you OTK. He sets one, so I'm like, maybe it's Imperm, so I just get rid of it. I normal the Gren. And that is the game because I'm going to summon the Gizmek out. Okay, ooh, get a little sneak peek here. So game one, game two, you can see that this deck is really, really good at beating up on these non-combo decks. So if you're going to locals and you're not playing against like Infernoble every game, then, you know, try this deck out. It works really well. I will say that Infernoble is a really, really tough matchup. Dragon Link is winnable, though, even with no hand traps, which is pretty impressive. So, yeah. Okay, let's go to game two. We got another Rogue deck here, and I just want to show you how this deck really, really just crushes Rogue decks. So if you go to locals with a lot of Rogue, definitely consider bringing this deck. Of course, the deck list is already in the description below if you haven't realized that already. Okay, so we go here. Let's pause and take a look at these hands here. I've got a really, really, really good hand. I've got an Alpha, I've got a Luna, I've got a Gizmek, and I've got a Super Poly and a Duster. So I'm feeling really confident. The only thing that's missing in this hand is a Kaiju, but that's that. My opponent opened Union Hanger, Sea Crush Wyvern, A Assault Core, Call by the Grave, and Unauthorized Reactivation. Now, Union Hanger is now actually just a one-card ABC Dragon Buster due to this new like Union Driver card. So you normals B, and he can get the Union Driver, and then Union Driver just basically lets him equip any Union from his deck. So he can equip C. However, now because that Union Hanger only prevents you from summoning Union Driver because that's what it equipped, C can summon itself because he's not under the restriction of Union Hanger. So that's really, really nice. And then he's gonna get that C out, summon Platinum Gadget to summon A out, and he's also gonna be able to search a B out. The crazy thing about A, B, and C is they're not once per turn and they can search themselves basically. A can add A back, it just can't add itself back. Like the specific A that's in the graveyard at that time. So yeah, but he searches another B, which is pretty good. Platinum Gadget summons out B, goes Union Carrier. He can use A to add B back, and then B to search again, which is actually kind of insane. The floating pieces are pretty amazing. So Union Carrier is going to equip Photon Orbital. This basically just lets him, I'm going to just go through this step by step. This basically lets him get a Galaxy Soldier to his hand so he can go for the Infinity combo. So that's what he's doing here. So now he does the Galaxy Soldier, search another Galaxy Soldier, pitch another piece, summon Galaxy Soldier, go here, boom, boom, boom. Dragon Buster sets 2 cards in the back row and ends his turn. Now I top deck the best possible top deck, a Kaiju as you can see. And so right away I'm going to Kaiju that Dragon Buster. The thing about ABC you have to understand is Dragon Buster is really, really bad for you if they're able to tribute it off and get their 3 pieces back. It's really, really hard for Gren Maju decks to grind through that. However, a lot of times ABC players want to try to keep the Dragon Buster to get a banish and then get the summon 3 back. So that's an easy time to Kaiju them. So I go and I Kaiju them. And then you're going to see some Kaiju Bounce House here. First, we're going to summon the Alpha. Then we're going to summon the Luna. Luna effect to search. Now, he can't really do anything, actually, about he can't really do anything about the Union Hanger here because, or he can't really negate this. He can't really negate the Luna, I mean. with his Cyber Dragon Infinity, because Luna can just chain and bounce that Kaiju back, and then I'll have the Luna and Kaiju protected in my hand. So you can't really negate the effect of Surge because it's a quick effect. And then I'm going to go into battle phase, and I'm just going to run over that Cyber Dragon Infinity. Or so I thought, because he activates unlicensed authorization, which basically equips a union so that it can't be destroyed by battle. Then that C is going to come off, summon the B. I decided to kill that union carrier. I don't want that thing sticking around. Okay, so good. I killed some stuff. I used Luna on Gamma here. Pretty sure he was going to negate it, but he doesn't for some reason, so I'm actually just able to get that Gamma Seal to my hand, and then I'm going to Kaiju him again. So we're playing Kaiju Bounce House. Now that the negate is gone, I'm going to activate the Harpy's Feather Duster to get rid of that Union Hanger. I really don't want that Union Hanger sticking around. And then I go and return both of my things to my hand, and I Gamma Seal here again. Now this might have been a mistake. I probably should have saved this Gamma Seal in my hand and just went Alpha Gizmac, made a ding, and send the Platinum Gadget. The problem here, and this is where I made the mistake, was I was thinking he has enough pieces in his graveyard. And I was thinking, well, I want to set the Super Poly and end with a Dark. Because then if I can set the Super Poly and end with a Dark, I can fusion summon away that ABC Dragon Buster, right? However, here is the problem. And the problem is that he's definitely going to make a Nightmare, right? So first of all, there's no point in tributing this away unless you're afraid of like a Link 3 or something, but I'm just going to send it to the grave with Ding anyway. And so I'm afraid he's going to make a Nightmare. So I actually make a mistake here. I shouldn't have Kaiju first. I should just made Ding and sent the Platinum Gadget. But I also shouldn't have made Dragoobian. I should have made Ding Girsu, because now, like, his obvious play is just to make Phoenix, pop my Super Poly, and then just go ABC Dragon Buster. And I might actually lose that game, because then he's going to outgrind me. He actually makes a mistake here. He top decks Upstart Goblin. For some reason, he activates it, and he goes a little too fast here. But I'm actually going to negate the Upstart Goblin. I was like, wow, free card to negate. Thank you very much. He must have just misplayed there. I don't even bother getting that back. He goes Phoenix, but he can't activate Phoenix because he didn't have a card in his hand when it was summoned. He tries to go for the ABC Dragon Buster, but then I activate Super Poly, and that is that. So, all important game 2, as we like to say. I open lots of traps here. I open 2 Ice Dragon's Prison, a Trap Trick, a Gamma Seal, and a Bigfoot. So my thought is to just set the 1 Ice Dragon's Prison, 1 Trap Trick, and see where it goes from there. I don't want to play into like a Lightning Storm too hard, so or Twin Twister too hard. So Lightning Storm doesn't really matter. So I set those 2. He upstarts, draws a Lancia. Not the most useful thing. He goes Desires, and let's see what he top decks here. And he's able to top deck that Union Hanger. Unfortunate for me, but here comes that Union Hanger, gets that Sea Crush Wyvern, and then he's going to go summon out the Galaxy Soldier, bang, bang, boom. He's going to go and summon the C. He makes a mistake here. I'm not sure why he didn't make the Infinity first and then just normal summon C. That would have made the plays a lot easier, but for some reason it didn't do that. So I'm actually going to take this opportunity to Ice Dragon's Prison him. He has to just go Infinity and attack me, but I'm happy with that. No ABC Dragon Buster, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and Kaiju that Infinity right away because I need to get that thing out of my face. I held back on the feedback here, by the way, because I had an easy out to this. So I wanted to save feedback for a later turn. That might or might not have been a mistake, not sure. And so here I go. I activate Pot of Desires and I draw 2. Just kidding. He ashes me, unfortunately. So I thought I was actually in a really good shape when I activated that pot. However, he did have the Ash. So now I actually maybe made another mistake again here. I probably should have just set that Ice Dragon's Prison and revealed Bigfoot. But I was thinking maybe if I got lucky, I could, draw into a Luna or something like that. So I was thinking about maybe trying to get that draw. So I go for the draw because I figure maybe it's better. Not sure what it is here, but he actually snipes that Bigfoot. So that's okay. I'm just going to go after the Union Hanger because I don't want that messing around with me. I figure if I hit the Union Hanger, I have an Ice Dragon set. I can easily keep him off Dragon Buster. So I can get rid of his B as he can't surge, and he attacks me for 2,200 points of damage. Okay, so now top deck. Wow, top deck of Gren Maju. So originally I thought it was a game because I have a set Trap Trick here. However, it's not quite game, and the reason is, well, I thought I could banish 26 cards because I would banish 1 Banquet of the Millions and 15 from my extra deck. That would make Gren Maju 10,400 attack, doing just enough damage, 80 to 100 damage to that Gamma Seal to get the win. However, he only has 13 cards in his extra deck. So I realized that, shoot, I actually can't banish 15. I can only banish up to 13. So I figure I'm just going to normal the Gren now and attack, and then maybe use this on his turn to stop any aggressive plays. He doesn't actually do anything because he has nothing. So on my turn, I just enter battle. I activate Trap Trick, get that Banquet of Millions, activate Banquet of Millions, and the duel's over. That Gren Maju is too strong, and it's coming at his life points. Okay, so here we are, guys, for the third and final game against my friend Colby. This was also for a tournament. He was playing Phantom Knights, and I just want to show you, again, how powerful Kaijus are against these, I would say, these tier 2, not super combo decks. Maybe fair combo decks, we can put it out there. It's just the unfair combo decks that really, you know, put a sour in my mouth when I'm trying to play against them with Gren Maju. But Phantom Knights, it's a relatively easy matchup, especially if you go second. Colby wasn't sure what I was playing, so he decides actually that he wants to go first, which is fine by me. So I open pretty good again, but he's going to do this Phantom Knights combo, summons the Torn Scale, sends a Fog Blade, and then specials out Psychic Tracker. Once you get to Cherubina, it's basically full combo, so he's going to dump Libby because he drew Graph, unfortunately for him. Sorry about that, Colby. And he makes Rusty. Rusty sends Sears, summons back this, and he's going to do a bunch of stuff, basically. The important thing you want to understand is, okay, where are the Fog Blades, and how many negates does he have, right? That's the most important thing to think about. So here's one Fog Blade, or that's not even a Fog Blade, so I'm not even worried about that. He summons Verte Anaconda, pays 2,000, gets a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and then equips it with his Union Carrier. Again, I don't really care too much about this. Like I said, this is not a combo I'm particularly worried about. He grabs a Fog Blade. I don't like Fog Blade, so that is the card I am worried about. So here we go. I draw Desires. Now I'm figuring he either negates my Red Eyes Dark, or he either negates my Desires with a Dragoon, in which case I can just activate another Desires. So I'm figuring let's just start with the Desires and see what happens. And Colby actually opts not to negate it here, which honestly, to be honest, in my opinion, that's a mistake. That draw 2 is too powerful. Just negate the draw 2. You'll never not regret negating the draw 2. Sometimes they bait you with Desires, but more often than not, they're not. So I actually top deck Kaiju. This Gamma Seal. Now you're going to see another game of Kaiju Bounce House here. So first, we Kaiju the Gamma Seal. I special my Pinkertops. I special my Alpha. I'm going to try to Alpha to bounce. He's, of course, going to Fog Blade. Like I said, the only thing I'm actually worried about in this matchup is Fog Blade. So I go and I negate the Fog Blade, and we're going to go Bounce House. Here we go. Yay, Kaiju him again. Now I Kaiju that Rusty away, so now I can summon from my extra deck. I know this is not a Fog Blade, so I reveal my Bigfoot here because I want a level 8. If I hit a level 8, that's GG because I can go Draglubian play. So that's why I just didn't want to trade in any of my dangers away because I wanted the level 8. Boom. I even hit the Thunderbird, pop that back row. Here we go. Draw a card. Draw another Desires. I saw all 3 Desires this game. That's pretty funny. But anyway, I got that Draglubian, and the game is over. He knows it because that Numerant Dragon is coming out and is going to do 9,000 attack on that Verte Anaconda. So here we are, game 2. He's going to make me go first. Now, this is the funniest game I had. There were some slight misplays in this game, but again, I sided in Banquet of Millions. I drew Trap Trick and Banquet of Millions, which is a little awkward because I only sided in Banquet of Millions. I wasn't sure exactly what he was going to do. I actually think that Ice Dragon's Prison is really good in this matchup as well, but I just decided to go Banquet of Millions here. I see he has 2 level 3s. Now, okay, this is a big decision point in the game. Now, why is that? Well, okay, I have 2 choices here, right? I might be able to OTK him next turn. If I can get 2 level 8s out, I can OTK him, right? So I'm thinking I don't want to banish my Draglubian package, right? That consists of Draglubian, Hope Harbinger, and Numeron Dragon. So I figure I'm just going to do 12 here. So that was my idea for doing 12. And 12 should be easily enough to hamper this deck if I hit almost everything good. You can see I kept the Draglubian in there. Give him the Banquet so he can banish 12 random cards. And I do hit the important ones. I hit the Cherubini, I hit the Verte, I even hit the IP, which is really nice. And so, yeah, he's just going to attack me for 200. Can't really do much. So I'm feeling decent here. And then I'm not feeling decent because he actually just set a Forbidden Droplet. Now, in the game, I thought this was a Fog Blade, so I was trying to play around Fog Blade. But they're basically the same thing. I'm like, crap. Like, now I can't kill him unless I draw like a Thunderbird off the top or something. Then I have a chance, right? So anyway, he puts all his stuff back in the extra deck. And I'm thinking, God dang it. Like, if that was only just like a freaking, you know, like he didn't set a card, I'd be chilling, I'd go for it. I also draw a Super Poly, which really sucks because I can't use it because I don't have a Starving Venom in my extra deck. If I knew I had a Starving Venom, I would have kept it and banished like 11 instead. But you know, maybe that was a misplay. Maybe I should have thought about a top deck Super Poly. I don't know. So I'm revealing my Bigfoot here, and here we go. We see the roll. It's gonna hit that Super Poly, which is actually good for me because I don't need that Super Poly. So I just want to see what I get. I drew a Luna, which is pretty good draw, and so I activated, but I still can't quite game through some interruption, so I'm not feeling that great about myself. I activate Bigfoot again. He discards the Luna. Lucky for me, so I'm chilling here. And I draw another trap trick. So this would have been a game where it would have been really nice if I actually set it in Ice Dragon's Prison. I'm not sure why I didn't, to be honest. I probably should have. That might have been my mistake. That would have been really, really helpful at this stage in the game. So I go and attack here. Unfortunately, I can't get out his interruption. I can't pressure him lethal. And I didn't want to make the Draglubian because I wanted to actually, I was thinking, well, I'm probably losing this game. However, if I'm actually able to get lucky with another Banquet of Millions on my next turn, I might have a chance to actually win this duel. And so that's what I actually decided to do here. I set one and I go for the crazy Banquet of Millions. He actually specials the Pankratops, pops my trap trick here. So Banquet of Millions gets banished. I get a Banquet of Millions from my deck. And then basically I'm going to wait. He normals, discards, and then gets a Silent Boots. And the moment he gets another monster on the field, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for a Banquet of Millions and hope I hit some good stuff. And then let's see what we get here. Moment of Truth. I hit the Cherubini and the Vertang Anaconda. I think he might have sided out his Dragoon package, but still, hitting the Cherubini is the most important thing because most lists only play one. So now I'm chilling. He goes for this Break Sword play, but Luna's able to bounce it, which is really good because you don't want to have too many monsters because when they go for that Break Sword play, they're really just trying to OTK you. And that rank 5 that's made by that rank 4, which is made by the rank 3, if you're following my logic here, depends on having lots of monsters on the field to do lots of damage. So I'm actually still in this game. He makes the Break Sword, pops a Bigfoot, summons 2 things back, makes that Raider's Knight, makes this Arc Rebellion Exceed Dragon, attacks me for a fat amount of damage here. But that's okay. I'm feeling all right. He sets 1, and he's at 350 life points. I just need to get 1 hit on this man, and I'm going to be good to go. So here we go. I normal summon my Luna, activate the Luna, grab the effect. So at this point, I'm thinking this is not a Fog Blade because I figured if this was a Fog Blade, last turn he would have just activated this, sent something to the graveyard to negate my Luna, but he didn't. So I'm like kind of suspicious here. I decide to just bounce with the Luna here, and I go for the Danger Thunderbird. Thunderbird, he misses because I have so many cards on my hand now due to this Luna. Thank you, Luna. I get that Thunderbird. I attack. So it turns out he has a Fog Blade here. I'm like, great, okay, I'm going to summon Gizmek. This should be lethal because I know this isn't Fog Blade. However, Colby actually misplays here. He could have activated his Forbidden Droplets and then sent the Fog Blade and then used the Fog Blade to summon back a monster and then used the Torn Scales to summon back itself because a monster was summoned from the graveyard. So I actually misplayed here. He actually probably would have won this game too. However, me being able to go second game 3 probably would have sealed the deal. But I just want to show you how you can win some of these decks, win some of these matchups, even if you go first. So that's it for the 3 duels guides. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.